Pass.
Unibet Support Safe Gambling Handicap is our third race. This is Division 1 of the two legs we're going to see of it. And in shot first, Eddie, in front of us, Twilight Revenge, who there are a few of these who are dropping down the handicap looking for an opportunity. Well, that was her last time, and she made good use of it.
Yeah, a lot of improvement last time. And Sorry, you got me at it as well. A lot of improvement from him last time, and he ended up winning fairly comfortably. And he must be a fair chance of a follow-up.
One behind, as the bell's just gone, is number 8, who is Just Jamie. I'm not really sure where Just Jamie is at the moment. Still a maiden and just waiting for an opening. I'm not sure this is it.
Yeah, he does a lot of things wrong still, doesn't he? He pulls quite hard, and last time he was hanging in the closing stages, hanging to his left. That wouldn't be ideal on this right-handed track, but he has got stamina doubts as well, I'd say.
Saturn Snake isn't long with Adrian Keatley, won a claimer in Ireland and makes his second appearance for the stable. Yeah,
quite a stocky horse, carrying a fair bit of condition, you'd say, but there wasn't a lot in the first run, but the Irish form's okay.
My Genghis, number 4, represents Tony Carroll. He's got a couple in here. Ross Orion takes this mountain. He's into a new sphere now.
Yeah, unexposed horse from the Wedgwood, one of the Wedgwood Estates breeding families, and up in trip considerably as well. And there must be a doubt about him staying.
Consistency was rewarded with Jack's Profit in our previous race. Number 2, Felicia Beach, is in that category for Johnny Portman and Richard Kingscote.
She is very consistent. She's only won the once. So she was odds on when she won, and she just gives the impression that she doesn't always give her jockey everything in a finish. That was slightly the case again at Chelmsford last time, but she's a consistent filly.
Just behind Felicia Beach, heading down the walkway, is Brave Display. Now, Phil McEntee will probably find the key to this horse. I'm not sure today's going to be it.
Yeah, quite an eye-catching run on the first run for Phil in a lesser race than this at Chelmsford. It was an 0-60. Had a wide draw and was completely hampered by that and a slow start. Shown hints that the ability is still there in 2 runs since, and would lively outsider for me.
Silk's Pass is the final one that we'll look at, also just going down the walkway in the kind of chocolate and cream colours. Off the mark of first attempt for Darryl Holland at Redcar, no joy since.
Yeah, switched since to Alice Haynes, for whom he's had just the one run. Probably stamina gave out there over a mile at Lingfield, and 7 furlongs looks more suitable.
Felicia Beach heads up the market then for Division 1 of the Unibet Support Safe Gambling Handicap, over 7 furlongs. It's a competitive enough affair. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Angus. Strong in the market, Eddie, Felicia Beach. But as you were noting in the paddock, she sometimes... There are opportunities that you feel like she should have taken more than just winning that 4 in a small field race at Chelmsford.
Yeah, I mean, she was unsuited by the draw at Chelmsford last time. Obviously, that was a problem for her, drawn out wide. She's one of those likely to go forward, and there might not be too much challenge for the lead here today. So you can, in a way, you can see why she's a shorter price of Free Solo, who finished somewhere in front of her in that Chelmsford run. But I would say that Free Solo's the value at these prices if you fancied that form, because she's dropped down. Free Solo dropped down dramatically from 90 since joining Jamie Osborne. And although Safi's lost her claim since the horse last ran, he still appears to be very well treated on the old Irish form for Jester Harrington.
They're going different ways in the market at the moment. Felicia Beach is only strengthening and Free Solo is drifting out. I guess inconsistency is Free Solo's main problem?
Yes, I suppose so. That run was followed by not such a good run, but there was an excuse in that he may not have faced the cheek pieces next time here, and they've taken them off again.
The handicap debutant Wizarding is taking some support. You can see why to some extent.
Yeah, lots of people here with that horse in the paddock. I thought he looked really well. An unexposed 3-year-old, as you say, a debutant in the handicaps. Should get the 7th furlong, but has been a bit keen in at least one of his runs. He could be good enough off a mark of 62. I suppose in that respect, around 8-10 to 1 is a fair price.
Is Madrino good enough as a 9-year-old to take this very, very different stage of his career?
He certainly is good enough at his very best. His last recent wins have been in a visor and in blinkers, and they still haven't got the headgear on. As to Rawlinson, not ridden a winner for Tony Carroll in 17 attempts, but he's probably overpriced, but he needs them to go hard. He's a come from behind horse.
And one we didn't touch on in the paddock is the outsider of them all, Eagle Path, who the filly as a 3-year-old is dropping back and trip from a trip she just didn't stay at Chelmsford.
No, and she got stuck on the rail that day and weakened quickly, and the rail was no good that night. So I wouldn't want to lay 28 to 1 and Mick Appleby horse second run for the yard since joining him from Ismail Mohammed. So I'm not saying she's going to win, but the blinkers first time and the second run for a strong yard makes me think that 28 to 1 is not a price you'd want to be laying.
Well, I think I know the answer, but does 5 to 2 Felicia Beach make any appeal to you?
Not for me, no. I made Twilight Revenge favourite. I thought that was such an improved run that I thought a back up there from that horse would make him hardest to beat.
Had to down a short price favourite and a star like that day, and looks like he might have to again to some extent with Felicia Beach heading them up at the moment, the filly for Johnny Portman and Richard Kingscote. Couple more to go. Let's get up to Richard for Division 1 of the 7 furlong handicap.
Thanks, Anthony. Yep, just the grey Eagle Path. Eagle Path going forward into stall number 2. Will complete this 11-strong field for the Unibet Support Safe Gambling Handicap. First Division, Eagle Path has got halfway in and decided at the moment that's as far as he wants to go. But the handlers are getting some purchase. The stall clicks shut behind and we are all set. And they're off. Eagle Path was a little slow into stride as they raced through the first 100 yards. Just Jamie jumped well on the inside, Wizarding moving forward on the outside, and also between runners in the brown and beige hoops, Silk's Pass. Felicia Beach, another one who's moving into that front rank. So Wizarding going to cross over and have the lead from Silk's Pass on the running rails, and Felicia Beach in the yellow sleeves racing in third. Just Jamie is back in the next wave on the inside of My Genghis. Free Solo wasn't able to get in. Whiteface is 3 wide into the turn. Twilight Revenge is in 7th place, just ahead of Brave Display. Then Madrino are beginning to string out with Satin Snake towards the back in company with Eagle Path. So making their way towards the halfway stage. And out in the lead, it's Wizarding, who has the lead from Felicia Beach in second, Silk's Pass in the hoops on the running rail in third. My Genghis comes next, just Jamie being ridden along. Round the outside, Free Solo with the white face, Brave Display. Twilight Revenge in orange colours, just being pushed along at this stage as they make their way down inside the final 2 furlongs or so. Wizarding with switch to the inside, Silk's Pass. Felicia Beach there with every chance. This 3 still have a break over, staying on Twilight Revenge and Brave Display. Twilight Revenge very short of room there. Wizarding and Felicia Beach have the lead. From in third place, Silk's Pass. Satin Snake tries to stay on from the back, but Wizarding holding tough at the moment. Felicia Beach, again, not many getting in it. Wizarding is all out to hold off Felicia Beach, but is gallantly doing so, and Wizarding repels Felicia Beach. Up for third was Satin Snake, then Silk's Pass, Madrino, Free Solo, and Just Jamie.
The front 2 from the stalls were the front 2 at the finish as well, and Wizarding, who crossed over from a wide berth, has had too much in the finish from Felicia Beach, who has no excuses. Eddie was in the perfect position to strike and ultimately hasn't been able to do so.
Yeah, I don't want to be too rude about Felicia Beach because she's extremely consistent, but the only win was when she rather fell in at a 4-runner race at a long odds on. And she's quite happy to let other horses stay in front of her. She did find enough to press Wizarding all the way to the line. But if you look at the size and shape of these horses, Wizarding, much scopier horse than Felicia Beach, has probably got a bit more to come. 4th was Silk's Pass, by the way. Difficult draw for the winner. Wizarding was drawn out wide, and Josh Bryan stayed wide initially, but then rode into a position where he could press for the lead early. Silk's Pass looked as though he was going to lead early in the headgear next to the rails, two-tone brown colours, but it was Wizarding who got across from that difficult draw, got in front of Felicia Beach, and that probably made the difference. If Kings could have gone forward and grasped the lead early, it might well have been different.
Yeah, she had her mind made up for her in that win with Holly Doyle, that she was sent to the front and never given a chance to let up. Wizarding has had stall 10 to overcome. What did you how did you feel this was run in the overall?
He's got to the front and he's just gone a steady but reasonable gallop, I think, in the end. A canny ride because he really wanted to get the rail, whereas other jockeys were just sort of happy to take the lead, and it's cost them in the end. You know, those involved, with the exception of Satin Snake, who's come from a long way back in the 2 green and yellow colours. The 3 involved in the finish were who finished 1st, 2nd and 4th, were there all the way. There was a brief idea that Brave Display in the red headgear might get into it, but he was hanging and didn't get home as a result of that. And Madrino, who was slightly hampered early in the race, has finished well but only managed to get into 5th place. Free Solo had a wide trip early, big white face. It was a minor excuse for him. Twilight Revenge never really got going.
No, it was a different story 10 days on.
Yeah, he didn't look particularly happy at any stage. Orange colours, second from the right, and got squeezed out there, but that was, I don't think he was going very far, very much at that stage. The winner had some scope and was unexposed and has put away some more exposed rivals.
Yeah, very different profile than the rest of them coming into it. Looking at the profile